Hey, how you doing? David Taub here with Epic Guitar Instruction. Hope all's going well. Hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. And today I have a song lesson for you where you're going to learn how to play the song Desperado. And these Eagles songs are great because they transcribe and arrange down for one guitar really well. And in fact, I have a few other ones on the site. I'll put those in the cards. Check out, I think I have Take It Easy, New Kid in Town. And this song is probably more of an intermediate level song. There's a lot of chords in it, and I'm going to go over all the chords. There's a few bar chords in it too, and there's some tricky parts. I'm also going to show you how to play the intro, which I arranged for guitar. Obviously, the intro to the song, and a lot of it is played on solo piano. The song's a little bit more challenging, but hey, this is how you're going to get better at guitar, by pushing yourself to the next level. You know, you got to keep trying. Harder chords, harder chord changes, harder progressions, harder songs. Please subscribe to the channel. You know, that will let you know when we have new content, as well as, you know, it helps us to keep bringing the content. So hit that subscribe button. Also, leave us a comment below. That helps us too. Let us know how you like this lesson, what songs you'd like to see coming up, what lessons you'd like to see, or gear you'd like to see reviewed. Put your comment below. If you like the video, please click the like button, give it a thumbs up, share it, and thank you so much for your support. So the basic structure for the song is there's an intro on piano, and then the verses, there's a couple of verses, and they're pretty much the same, and then a couple of choruses, which are pretty much the same, a little variation at the end of each, which I'll show you, and then there's a verse at the end of the song into an outro. And that's pretty much the whole song. A lot of the same chord changes over and over again. And I'm going to show you the strum patterns too. Now, I'm going to show you the intro at the end of the lesson because the intro is tricky. And I don't want that to discourage you from watching this lesson, because playing through the chords is not that bad. It's pretty simple as long as you can play a couple bar chords. But let's do the intro at the end. We're going to start right when the vocals come in with Desperado. I'll go through the chords pretty quickly because there's a lot of them, but I want to give you pictures of each one in case you're not familiar with them, so you could see them, you could stop the video. And then I'll do the playthrough for each part. So let's take the verses first. So you're going to need, the song starts the first time after the piano intro. He comes right in with Desperado, and that's on a G chord. So you're going to need G, G7. Why don't you come to your senses? He goes to a C, senses C minor, bar chord. Back to G, you've been out riding. Fences E minor 7th. For so, A 7th. Long now is D 7th. You're a hard one. Back to that G to G 7th. Kind of similar to the first line. To C minor, bar chord. These things that are pleasing, you could play that a couple ways. One way would be just G, these things that are pleasing, E minor 7th. Another way is he puts like a little walking bass line in there. G to a B7. Things that are pleasing, E minor 7th. So you'll hear me, I'll do the playthrough and you'll hear that change. And then A7 can hurt you somehow. So that when he goes to that hurt you is just A7 one hit, D7, you'll need that one hit, somehow is back to G, and then back to D, which basically takes you into the chorus where it gets really big. Eagles are great at that, right? Like stirring up our emotion by these mellow, kind of beautiful melodic verses, and then big, huge choruses, right? And they're working the dynamics of that song. It's really excellent. So let me play for you verse 1. Verse 1 and 2 are pretty much the same. You'll need a couple of strum patterns for the song, but mostly we're just going to use this down, 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 up. That's it for most of the song. And it's slow. You don't want to rush this. Down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. So that's the pattern we're going to use. And then some of the chords are just going to be one hit because they change quickly. And you'll see that when I play it. Here's the verses. And again, this time, after the piano intro or the guitar intro, which I'll show you later, it's Desperado on the G. Later in the song, the next two verses, he plays Desperado. And he goes D, D7, G. I'll show you those when we get to the playthrough there. But so we start on that G. So that last D chord is kind of the beginning of the chorus, and that's when it goes in, don't you draw the Queen of Diamonds. So that's basically the first, second, and the beginning of the last verse. One thing where he goes, these things that are pleasing, if you want to play it a little differently with that B7 kind of walk down, so you get that G to the B to the E kind of walk down, these things that are pleasing. So notice G, B7, E minor 7, if you want to do that. If not, just go G right to that E minor 7. And if these bar chords or any bar chords or bar chord changing or is giving you fits, you know, I could really help you with that. I have a killer lesson because so much about bar chords is the technique and the technique used to play them and to change from opens to bars and bars to opens. I have a long killer lesson that'll really help you with that. Just click on that link in the YouTube description box. I'll send you that free video lesson on bar chord techniques, bar chord changing tips, bar chord exercises. It's an awesome lesson, and I pair it with an ebook where I have a lot of the chord charts diagrammed out, more lessons, more exercises. It's a great 1-2 punch. I'll send it to you for free. Just click on that link below. So now we go to the chorus, don't you draw the Queen of Diamonds. And the first and second chorus are pretty much the same except for the last line in the second chorus, which we'll get to in a second. So the chorus basically, don't you draw is E minor, the Queen of Diamonds, B minor. You need that B minor bar chord. She'll beat you C, if she's able, G chord. You know the Queen of Hearts is that's a E minor 7th. C is always your best bet, G. Then lead in the next part with the D. And again it repeats, E minor. Now it seems to me some B minor, fine things have been laid. Laid is on the C. Table is on the G chord. But you only, E minor, want the ones, A7, that you can't get is A minor 7th. All right, I'll show you the variation in a second for the second chorus, but the chorus will sound like this. Same strum pattern. So you're coming off that D chord, right? You're coming out of that verse with that D chord. Don't you draw. Okay, notice at the end of that chorus, right, on that A minor 7th, it goes back into now your second verse into Desperado, but this time, instead of starting on the G, he kind of puts a couple of passing chords in it. D, D7, G. So from that A minor 7th, okay, so it's like Desperado. And into verse 2. So the end of the second chorus is just a little bit different than the first chorus. Same kind of chords except when it gets to the last line. So as you work through that second chorus, you're losing all your highs and lows. That's the B minor, right? Ain't it funny? See how the feeling goes away. A minor 7th, but what he does this time, because he's shortening the lyric line, he plays that A minor 7th 3 times. He's holding out that word away. Then it goes back into the Desperado, right? So let me play just the end of that chorus so you could hear it. Maybe we'll take it from you're losing all your highs and lows. So you're E minor, C, G, away. Desperado. Okay, and then we're into the last verse, which takes us into the outro. Now, the last verse is the same as the first verse for the first couple lines, but then it gets to the part where it's like, you better let somebody love you, and then they harmonize that, a fourth above, you better let somebody love you, and then he says again, you better let somebody love you before it's too late. So what I'll do is I'll play the whole last verse, but what you're going to need to do is when it goes to you better let somebody love you, they're doing that walking bass line downs again, so it's just G, you better let somebody, B7, love you, E minor, And then the harmonies come in where they sing higher and they bring it to a fourth above that. So it's C. You better let somebody love you. C. C over B. A minor. And he does it again. You better let somebody love you. E. G. B seventh. E minor. And then that last E minor, you just let that ring. Love you. And then before it's too late, A minor 7 before it's D7 2. Then you hold that out. Late G. Song ends with the intro again. The piano. One other thing just to note in this last verse is that in the second line, come down from your fences, open the gate. That's going to be just one hit, come down from your fences. So one hit on the G, down from your fences, D, and then back to the strum pattern. So let me play it for you coming out of the chorus with those last A minor 7 3 times. So that's the whole song. You know, you could just make a go of it like that at first and don't even worry about the intro. But I'm going to show you the intro now because I think it's really pretty. And if you want to push yourself, I think it'll be great. You're going to need a couple of chords for this. You're going to need this, for the intro, you're going to need this G13. You're also going to need the C minor 6 over G. And you'll need E minor. And you're going to need this couple little pieces of chords. You'll need a little piece of a G chord. And if you add that open A string, you have G over A in the bass. And then this little D inversion here. So let me play the intro for you. I'm going to tab it out for you also. And again, you know, this is piano arranged for guitar. Sound like this. Okay, so for the intro, I'm playing a G chord, and then I'm grabbing the 15th fret on the B string, and then I'm playing the 12th fret on the B string, and then I go to that G13, okay, and then 10 on high E, 12 on B and G, so you get this, G13, and then I play this little lick. And that's 9th fret on the G, or you can hammer it from the 8th fret. Then 8th fret on the B, 9th back to 9th fret, let them ring. Okay, and then you got to play this chord, which is that that's that C minor 6th over G, and then 8th fret, that G note, and then open G string. Hammer 2nd to 4th fret on the G. Let that ring and play the 3rd fret on the B. And then back to the 4th fret. Then to your E minor chord. And then grab that, making it an E minor 7th. Play that D note, which is on the B string, 3rd fret. Then you play these little chord, little pieces. This here is 5th fret on the D, 4th fret on the G. It's kind of like a little G chord, right? Kind of looks like, right, little G major. And then add the open A string, G over A. Then grab that A note, 2nd fret on the G string. Sounds like this. Back to that G note, and then move up so you're now playing this D chord, which is 5th fret A, 4th fret D, and second fret on the G string. So you're playing like a D, an F sharp, and an A, a little D triad there. So that part is this. And the last thing I do is I tap the 10th fret on the low E string to give me that low D note. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Stick with it. You can do it. This one's a little bit trickier, especially that intro part, right? But, you know, like I said earlier, you don't necessarily have to play the intro. You could start it right from the G chord when you come in vocally with Desperado, right? So, you know, make it your own, put your own spin on it. Have fun with it. Have fun with these lessons. That's the main thing. Enjoy that guitar. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. That really helps us to keep bringing the content, as well as you'll be notified when we have new lessons. Also, don't forget, click that link in the YouTube description box below. I'll send you my free video lesson on bar chord tips and bar chord changing exercises and technique tips with the ebook. Just click on that link below. Also, if you got a second, you know, I just dropped a new record with my original band Mind Cell. We're based here out of San Diego. I think it's some of the best songs I've ever written. It's a slamming record. Check it out. It's streaming on all the digital platforms. It's available for sale on CD at CD Baby, and also you can download the whole record or you can stream it. I'll put links to all of those below, but I'd love for you to hear it. Check it out and let me know your thoughts. Stay tuned. I got lots more lessons coming for all level players. We so appreciate you tuning in. Email us any questions. You know, we're readily available to help. Keep putting those guitars in your hands every day and keep having fun with them. And remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. Take care and rock on.